Today, we're not actually creating a project. We're going to be showing you all some of our favorite font hacks. And if you guys know me, I'm like obsessed with fonts. It's my favorite design segment or like segment thing. I don't know what you want to call it, but I love fonts and working with them. Let me pull that up really fast so I can have it ready here. And I'm going to show you guys stuff. I swear, there are things that I do in Design Space regularly that I don't even realize that I do, that I've done forever. That really is kind of a hack. So we'll just play around in Design Space and just kind of show you how I do things and things like that. So
yes,
let me
and
get the share screen up.
This is definitely one that I feel like we all need to. We're not going to be distracted by crafts. This is going to be a Design Space heavy workshop, Design Space heavy live. And this is one where you are going to be able to take in so much knowledge and learn so many things. But we have so many people always ask us questions about font pairing, font hacks, all of these things. And y'all, this is the one you need to, it's going to be worth it.
Beautiful. Okay. So I am already in Design Space. We're going to be working mainly in Design Space, but before we do any of our hacks, I'm just going to show you all the basics. So I'm going to show you how to get onto our website, download a font, and pull it into Design Space. That's like where you want to start when you're working with fonts. I want you guys to know the basics before you start jumping into hacks and things like that, just because you need to know, you need to have a good foundation. So we're going to go to our website. This is just themakersgonnalearn.com, and I'm in the cut files section, but you can just pop over to the fonts portion. Just going to click on that. And so you can see, and look, we just got new font. We got a couple new fonts here, and then these are all new, but you can sit and scroll through all of these fonts. You can even preview a font. So if you're like, I'll know what kind of font I want to look for, but I want to be able to see what I'm typing out in a preview. I always use the word lovely when I'm testing fonts, especially for videos and stuff. You guys see me do a font video, I use the word lovely. Anyways, so side note, lots of fonts here, but look, you can see in the sample text how all of these are going to look. I'm obsessed with this athlete font. It has given me retro football cheerleader love romance vibes. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay, so now that I have chosen my font, if that's the one we want, you're just gonna click on this little circle right here with the down arrow. Just click on it, okay? It's gonna pop somewhere. You're gonna see an icon up here with your downloads. It may even go to the bottom of your screen. Just try to see where it goes. If for some reason you're like, I didn't see it go anywhere, you can go to your Finder or your search bar and type in the name of the font. So like I can go to my Finder right here. I'm already in my downloads, and then athlete is right here. Okay, so I could get to it that way, or I could just pull down that recent download history and it's right there as well. So it downloads as a zip folder, which means it's like a compressed folder. We have to unzip it to get everything out. So what we're gonna do, you guys can't see me, but I'm like talking with my hands. I'm like, you have to unzip it, and no one's even looking at me. Okay, so we're gonna click on that zip folder. It's gonna open it up, and it'll turn into a .otf font. So that's our open type font is what that stands for. And then you're gonna need to double click it and install it.
Also, just FYI, in case you all didn't know, if you install a font from the Makers Gonna Learn website, it's going to install into either your font book or your character map, and you're going to be able to use it across multiple applications, not just Design Space.
Right. That's a good point.
Love that.
But on that note, what Lauren just said, you can use it on multiple applications, and then with Design Space, even though we've got Design Space on our computer, even though we've downloaded the font onto our computer, we have to put the font into Design Space. So right now, we've just downloaded the font. We've got Design Space. I'm going to open Design Space back up. Okay, I'm just going to pop it back up. It's been on. I haven't closed it out or anything. We just now installed that font. So it's on our computer somewhere, but until I reload Design Space, it's not on my computer at all. Okay, so I have to view and reload. If you are in the middle of a project, make sure that you all are saving your projects before you reload Design Space, or you will lose any work, and I would hate for that to happen. And then now we can see if the font's in there. So let's just hit this little T over here. This opens a text box for us. So if you're wanting to type anything, we're gonna type out lovely. I'm gonna hit Command A. That's gonna select everything. Command A on a Mac. And then here's our fonts up here in the top left.
I think it's Control A for a PC.
Control A, yeah. Or
Command A or Control.
Yeah. And then we're gonna go to System. This is where our downloaded fonts live. If you're over here in Cricut and you're like, athlete, and you type it in and you're searching for it, like you're not gonna find it. These are not the fonts that we downloaded, okay? What you need to do is go to your system, and this is where all of your downloaded MGL fonts will live, and any other downloaded fonts if you put any more on here. And I'm just gonna type out the name of the font, and looky there. There she lives. Easy, right?
So easy.
It sounded like a lot of steps because I was like very much breaking it down for you guys. But do y'all have any questions about downloading fonts, pulling them in? I saw one about an iPhone. You can do this on iPhone. We do have tutorials on it on our website when you become a member. If you're working straight from an iPhone, they used to only use iPads here.
Yes.
So, which is crazy to me.
Wild to me. I could never. And I know that we have a lot of friends here with us that do a lot of designing and things on tablets, iPads, phones, all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
Me personally, more power. I praise you for it because that's a feat.
It's a learning curve.
It's a learning curve, and it's a feat in and of itself to be able to design on something that small. I am a computer girly through and through.
Yeah, me too. If you have access to a laptop, it's much more easier to kind of handle and work around. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I have a list on my phone here. There's 6 different hacks I want to teach you guys today. And let's just start by, let me just show you a project that we've done. I want to show you all a couple different ways that we've used these font hacks to incorporate them into designs. This is a water bottle that we did. We did like a live on it and a video. It's a spray paint, like, I don't even know what we call this technique. But I want to show you all how you can achieve this look right here. So this is basically where you take a word and we're going to slice out the middle of the letters to give us this really cool outlined effect. Okay, so let's go into Design Space. And this is actually a pretty good little font to work with.
Yeah. Now, one question real quick that I think is a very, very good question. Christine asked, can a font be installed only on one device? Like, can I install it on my Mac and my iPad? Absolutely. Our fonts, you don't have a limited number of downloads for the fonts on our website. If you have multiple devices, you can download those fonts on multiple devices. But if you're asking, do you have to? Yes. If I have an iPad and a Mac, my iPad and Mac don't automatically sync up when it comes to system fonts.
They're their own person.
Yeah.
When you install it onto
it's like the cloud. The cloud works together, but the system fonts is its own separate entity. So you do have to download on separate devices. However, you don't have limitations on how many times or how many devices you can download our fonts on.
Yes, correct.
There we go.
Bowers, is that the dish soap tumbler? It is the dish soap tumbler. I was like trying to remember what we called that. We used what's it called? The spray soap that's blue.
Yeah, Dawn Power Wash.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to do this hack. Now first, well, I won't do that. Okay, so what you're gonna wanna do is select your word. Okay, there's a couple different ways you can achieve this. I'm gonna show you what I like to do. We're going to select the offset. So make sure your word's selected and then come up here to offset. Now that's thick. That's a little too thick for what we're wanting to do. So let's do like a 0.15. Sometimes you have to play around like with the measurements. Let's do you feel like that's still too thick? 1.3.
Oh.
I think that's good.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks real good.
Okay. And then we're going to do another one. Oh, another offset, sorry. 0.13. I'm just going to keep it the same, like the same measurement, if that makes sense. And then what you're going to do is slice the black layer. So am I tripping it up?
Yeah, you should have just been one.
Okay, I was like, I've done an extra step here.
You have. It's just one outline. That, and then just slice your text in.
Okay, so we're going to use the offset and the first that we typed out. Okay, because you can only slice through 2 layers. You can't do more than 2 when you're using the slice function. So we're going to select both. You can just click and drag, and then you can slice. We can actually probably exclude on this one. Should we try it? Exclude. Let's try and see what it looks like. Okay, so this is what I was a little bit worried about. So when you hit exclude, it leaves the little tails of those letters that are like hidden normally. So what we're gonna do is slice. We are gonna slice. So we're gonna select both. This is when sometimes me and Lauren are like, why do you still need that feature?
Why do you still need slice? This is why.
This is a good representation of that.
There you go.
Perfect. And there's this extra little random piece. I'm gonna delete that. But look how cute that is.
I love it.
Me too. I just love this look. It really looks good on thicker fonts. She lovely? She is lovely. So make sure when you're doing this technique, a thicker font's usually going to work better. That's just what I found. But yeah, that's just a fun little hack you can incorporate to some of your other designs. So now I want to talk about glyphs. Who here knows what a glyph is?
Oh, this is my favorite.
This is one of my favorites too. Okay, Lauren, name me your favorite glyph font.
Ooh.
I know, there's a lot of good ones. You know what? Let me just show you guys how you can know if your font is a glyph font, and Lauren can be thinking about her favorite and we'll use it. So what you're going to need to do if you're like, what the heck is a glyph? First of all, let me just show you. So you can go to your character map or your font book. On a Mac, it is a font book. So we're going to type in font book, hit search. Let's go to applications, type it in again. Font book, where are you at? Normally I just have to search it. Oh, here we go. Okay, this is what the font book looks like. It's got this big F on it. If you're on a PC, it's going to be character map. So you
Claire has some really good ones.
Claire
and Bell Bottom both have some really good ones.
Perfect. Okay, that's what I'll use then.
And Chateau.
Like Chateau?
Yeah.
Like Chateau?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Like a French. They have the underlined stuff.
Oh, yes. Okay, money.
You know
Let's do that. Okay, so let me show you guys how you can even see, like, if any of the fonts that you already have existing on your computer have glyphs. So there are lots of different ways. Let's see. Lauren said Chateau. Do we have that one on here?
Probably not.
No, we have Claire.
No, and Bell Bottom is another one, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And then the swoosh.
Oh, yeah.
If you just type in swoosh,
there should be a bunch.
There's a bunch.
Okay, I want to show you guys right here. These are glyphs. Do you guys see all this fancy, bougie, like extra? So like normally when you download a font, you get all of the punctuation, the numbers, the uppercase, lowercase, etc. And then you'll get like these Spanish and other language little like, what do they call these? I don't know what they're called, but the little symbols over the letters. And then some of them have glyphs. And so it's like a fancier version of a basic letter. So like we have a normal K, but you can see here, let me see if I can zoom in for you. It doesn't, here, let me bump the size up to like 72, perfect. So like here, look, we've got 3 different options for the Ks. Isn't that so cute? I'll show you Bell Bottom too if we've got it. Yeah, we do. This font is one of those like retro swirly fonts that I love, and it looks so good when you incorporate the glyphs into designs using these fonts. Let me scroll down and I'll get to them.
All glyphs are going to be found at the bottom.
Yeah, they're like at the very last thing on the whole thing, and you usually have to scroll through all this. Look at that H.
Yeah.
OMG.
Uh-huh.
I love the double letters that they offer too.
Yeah.
I think that's so fun. So let's use Bell Bottom for today's glyph tutorial, okay? So if you don't already have Bell Bottom on your font, like on your font list, go ahead, go to the website, download Bell Bottom, and what you're gonna do, install it like we did at the beginning of the video, and make sure you got it pulled into Design Space. And I'm gonna go ahead and just type out the word that I want. Let's shrink this down and scooch it over out of the way. Okay, so let's type out, what is a good word? Honey has an H in it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and change this to the Bell Bottom font, okay? So I've already got bell-bottom font, and I might need a space there.
So you're going to find these on a PC. If you just search character map, if you go to start, search character map, your character map will pull up. It's going to give you the same, it's not the exact same, how do I want to say this? It's not the exact same format.
Yeah.
But it's still, you're going to be able to find your glyphs there.
Yeah, you can still scroll through all your stuff there.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the bell-bottom font. Now the H, she's cute, but like she could be better. And
for
so
sure.
that's when you get to go over into your font book, which is where we were at. I was thinking we could do this pretty lowercase h there, but how do I get it to Design Space? I don't know. So what you need to do is just come over here. We're gonna literally just copy this, okay? Hold on. Of course it's not gonna let me. This mouse is just not wanting to like
Just do Command C.
We'll see. Okay. So Command C or right click and copy, whatever your heart desires.
Or Control C on a PC.
Yes. And then I'm going to delete the H out, okay? And then I'm going to Command V and plug that H back in. That is cute, girl. That is cutie. So that's all you have to do. You just got to plug in whatever font. And then like if you wanted to still add more, let's go. I'm going to tab over to my Ys and see if they have any Ys. No.
See, that's the thing is some fonts have, but some of these fonts will work together, although you may not think that they will. So bell bottom, I'm wanting to say try bell bottom, I think, and Claire are very similar. And I actually used a couple pieces from Claire because Claire has like the really cute.
They have more options.
They have it. You have more options.
There's a Y,
but it's not.
It's nothing crazy though. It's very similar.
No, but you can use that in
this
at the
one?
bottom. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And put it in. But the only problem is you have to create a new text box.
Well, okay, can I show them what I would do and then you tell me what you would do?
Yeah.
Okay, because I think Lauren does this differently than me, so this is fun because then we can show you how we would both do this. So you can't incorporate two fonts inside of one text box in Design Space. Unfortunately, I don't know why. Everybody else lets you do it, but not Design Space.
Right.
Okay, so what I like to do is select my word. I'm going to go to Advanced and Ungroup to Letters. And then so now each letter is like its own individual person. Okay. And then I'm just going to Command V.
Because you can't do it. You have to actually change that into. You actually have to change that in from bell bottom to Claire.
Sorry. Yes. Okay, here. And then since it's a square, we're just going to keep it highlighted. I'm going to go to the Claire font and it's going to change it to the.
But see how much they work together?
Yes.
How well they work together?
It's the same vibe.
But a little bit of a different font.
Yes. And then, so if you wanted to cut these, I would attach them back together.
Yes.
Or unite them, whatever you prefer. And then how would you do it, Lauren? Would you do it much differently?
I would have just created a new text box and clicked the Claire font and then copied the N. So same thing.
Okay, cool. So there you go. There was a lot of little fun tidbits in that. So now you guys know how to do glyphs. Don't you guys love it? I feel like this would be cute with that first hack that we did, but I don't know if it'll work since we just attached them. I think if I unite everything, add an offset, apply, I just think this would be really cute. Sorry, I'm just want to see what it would look like. That is so cute, isn't it?
I love it.
I want to put that on a shirt. I love it. So you guys can see already we've taken the first 2 or 3 hacks that we've learned and incorporated them into a design in Design Space. You could cut this now on vinyl and put it on a t-shirt and it would be so stinking cute. Okay, so that's our second hack. We're 2 in. Let's see what we've got next. Okay, I actually just showed you guys one and it was the ungroup to letters. That was the next one I was going to show you. But I'm going to show you again just so you guys can really get it into your head. Because the more you see it, the easier it's going to be for you guys to incorporate it. So let's type out, okay.
Is that ain't, you got an I. B-O, no, not bougie.
Is there a correct way to spell it?
No, it's I-E. Huh? You see it that way? I see. I thought it was.
Should we Google it?
Yeah.
Because bad and bougie, the song is E-E.
I thought it was I-E.
Correct spelling for bad and bougie. Bougie is an intentional misspelling of bougie.
Yeah.
A G? That's weird.
Okay. Anyways,
Well, let's just use a different word.
we use a different word. Honey, lovely, sweetheart. I don't know why I'm doing these words. Sweetheart. Okay, that's a good long word, so I can really show you guys what I'm talking about here. Okay. Now, I want to show you how to ungroup to letters. So you can see in that last instance, ungrouping to letters really helped us allow us to insert that glyph right there because we were using a different font. And so there's lots of other reasons that you want to ungroup to letters. Like if you just wanted to resize one letter, you've obviously got to separate it from the text box before you do that. So you're going to want to make sure that you've got your text box selected. And then we're going to go to advanced and ungroup to letters. Okay, now you can see here, all of these are separate. Now you can use this to do things like turning your letters sideways and like making them look cutesy pootsy like this. You can even resize your letters now individually if you wanted to, if you wanted this to be bigger, things like that. But I will say you can't, if we attach these letters back together, like if we hit combine and unite, it's now like you can't type out the whole on one straight line. You would have to go in here and manually change each letter. Does that make sense? So just a FYI, if you guys do decide to ungroup to letters, I always say try to get your editing done. Like make sure you've checked your spelling and everything before you start ungrouping your letters and putting them back together again. It just makes it a lot easier to adjust. Okay, so now not only can you ungroup to letters, but you can also ungroup to lines. So if you have multiple lines of text, you all can actually separate those lines without having to like erase it out of the text box and then copy it into another one, which is what I used to do before I knew how to do this. So I'm going to show you guys how you would do that. So let's pull in a text box. Let's do lovely, honey, sweetheart. And we're going to make it big. I'm going to zoom out here. Okay, so say you've got 3 lines of text and you need them separated. So you can kind of move them around and play with them wherever you need. What I'm going to do, make sure everything is selected. We're going to go back up to this advanced menu and ungroup to lines. And now look, there you go. Now if you wanted to like line these up, you can select those two, hit align center vertically. That's going to line them up perfectly. And then you can bump your text up here. Now if you wanted them to be together, make sure you're attaching everything back together. So if you ever ungroup to letters or ungroup to lines and you're still wanting things to cut together, you have to attach them. You can't just group them. You can't just let them be. You have to select them all and attach so it's one like image, one solid image.
Now, one other thing, since you were talking about lining up, one thing that I do want you to show them with that sweetheart that you were just at, that is ungrouped to letters. One thing that, and this is going to be a really, it's not necessarily, it's a font, it's a hack, just a hack in general. And if you think these hacks today that we're doing are really good, you just wait. Like if you want in on that hack book, you need to, y'all, you can purchase any program we have, whether it be yearly membership, your mystery box, your Make-a-thon ticket with your mystery box, Maker's Gonna Sublimate, all of this stuff, you're gonna get a hack book sent to you free. But are we still ungrouped to letters?
Yes.
Okay. If you want to, let's say, you have ungrouped to letters, you've moved things around, but you know that the word sweetheart needs to be, I don't know, 10 inches wide.
Okay.
What you can do is take your S, keep it where it's at, take your T, move it to where it's 10 inches apart from your S by using your grid system. So what is the S on right now?
Let's put it at 0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Move your T to whatever.
To 10?
It's probably going to have to be longer than 10 because that is, just move it out just a little bit.
Out, okay.
Yep. And then did you know that you can select all of the letters, including your T and S.
Okay.
Go to align, distribute horizontally, distribute evenly.
Yes. It's doing weird because of this. It's doing weird because of these letters. And because I had done them all weird.
Okay.
But normally we can do that with a shape. I have better luck doing it with shapes. I've never actually done it with fonts. Have you done it with fonts before?
I had and thought it worked, but maybe it didn't.
It could be because I've twisted the fonts and stuff
That might be it. But anyway, that's just a little tidbit and a hack that you all, just to let you know, with our hack book, we only have a few spots left. We just opened it up 100 more yesterday. Yes. Make sure you jump in on that.
Yes, I love it. The next one I want to talk about is, oh, this one's fun. Okay, I have an example, sort of. This isn't the example I wanted. This is a really good example, but I was going to show you guys another kind of way to do it. We've been using this hack a lot lately. This is one of my...
We have been.
We have, and it's one of my favorite design techniques. This one we did it a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see. So the claws is kind of cut into mama, but instead of it just laying right on top of it, there's somewhat of a small white gap all the way around claws. Can you all see that?
Yes.
So we love to do this. This really, really makes your design look clear. It makes it look legible. You just want to make sure that when you're designing things that you're making them legible, especially if they're words. You don't want it to be stacked on top of each other. Right. It starts looking murky and messy. And even here, we just did it a little bit, but it just makes such a difference because otherwise my vinyl would have been stacked on top of all of that, or I would have had to have too much space in between these upper letters and lower letters between Dolly. So in order for me to kind of scrunch everything together to give it that pretty design, what we do, let's go into Design Space and I'll show you guys exactly how you can do it. So, let's move.
This is also a great one to do with names, like first and middle names. So do Ruby Claire on this one.
Okay. Yes, we can totally do that. And I'll show you guys with a single initial too, because I was wanting to bring that Blair ornament in here.
Yes.
Okay, so let's do Ruby. Let's do a capital R. Okay, I'm going to make this bigger, Ruby, and then I'm going to do a script for my bottom
demonstrate
name. So demonstrate. Lauren says demonstrate. Can you tell we have particular fonts we like? Oh, not demonstration. That is a cute font though. We want demonstrate. Okay. So we've got, now I want y'all to see, if for some reason we wanted to use the same color, if we wanted to use a gray, obviously Claire is just running all up into this. Even the L, if I brought it down, the L is still overlapping Ruby, and it's just not the vibe. It's just not it. So what I like to do, I like to pull it up here really close. I love overlapping text. I just think it looks so good.
And change Claire to white so they can see, even if you did it in two separate colors, what it would look like. It's still, or no, change it to red. You can see red better. It's still not giving what it needs to be.
I'm going to change this to blue so you can just really see the offset and everything. Okay, so we've got our Claire right here and our Ruby. They're separate text boxes, okay? What I'm going to do is select that bottom text box and I'm going to add an offset. Now this does not need to be super thick, a 0.1 usually is my go-to. And then I'm just going to hit apply. Okay. We can't stop there because it's still kind of not super clean. It's still overlapping. So what we're going to do next is select that offset layer in our panel over here. I'm going to hold the shift key down and select Ruby. And then we're going to slice that out and then delete all of these extra layers. And look, I'll zoom in so you guys can get a good look.
Now look how it just hugs that other font, but now you can see both names.
Right. I love it. And so you're still able to go in here and you can change the color and things like that.
So when you change them both to the same color, I feel go ahead and attach them together. It's just so nice.
And even if you needed to flatten it and print it, you could do that. It just looks really good. I don't know. I just love how this looks. Now you can't go back in and edit Ruby, so make sure that you got everything, like I said before you start manipulating your fonts, make sure all your spelling is correct. I hate doing a project and I'm like, I have been working on this and it's completely spelled wrong and I can't undo it. So make sure you spell that good. So this is one that I like to do when I'm working with really teeny weeny fonts. So Demonstrate is a perfect example. This font is so pretty and we use it for so much, but y'all,
Albuquerque's a better one.
Albuquerque?
Albuquerque. Go to Albuquerque. Because I've got Demonstrate pretty small on HTV and still been able to, but Albuquerque always gives me issues every single time.
She's a skinny girl.
She's a real skinny. Even on HTV, I have issues with Albuquerque.
Okay, so fonts such as Albuquerque, and I'm gonna do a script font. I'm gonna do this in that Demonstrate just so you guys can see what's going on here.
Flexibility. Do we have flexibility?
I bet we do, because I love, that's a good one. Flexibility is a good one. Yes, okay, honey.
That's it.
Okay, honey.
Okay, honey.
Okay, so this this hack is just very simple, but it's mainly for fonts that are so skinny that when you use adhesive vinyl, they don't tend to cut well, or you weed them and the parts come off, and like if there's eyes on, you know, it's just, we need to thicken it up. They're a little too scrawny to be cut with the Cricut cutted. So what I like to do is simply go to the offset, and we're gonna add an offset. So we're just gonna add it like a point, I don't even know, 0.03. You can preview that offset by hitting the tab button instead of hitting apply. You can just hit tab and it'll show you the thickness change.
Oh, really?
Yeah, watch, I'll show you. Let's do 0.25. So if I just stay there, it doesn't work. If I hit tab, it applies it. And I don't have to hit apply yet. Hack.
Another hack. I didn't know that one.
See.
How'd you stumble on that one?
I just have done it. I've literally done it forever. I have no idea. I've done it since I worked here. Like, I don't remember learning it from anybody. I might have accidentally done it. I couldn't honestly tell you. But anyways, there's another hack for you guys. So that allows you to preview your thickness. So I think 0.03 was pretty good though. 0.03. Hit apply.
Tab.
And then, or hit tab and then hit apply. Now it doesn't look like that much thicker, but it is.
But look at that.
Look at the difference.
It works so well.
So the pink was before, this is the after. This is gonna allow it to cut so much better, okay? So let me show you how to do this with the thicker font. I'm gonna change it to pink so you guys can really see what's going on. So this is Flexibility, one of our fonts. It's a script. I'm just gonna go up here, add an offset. It's already at the 0.03. Make sure when you're picking the width of these that you're paying attention to the middles of the letters.
Yeah.
The E is very small, so it's not really gonna, I mean, we could make it a little smaller, but you guys can see where the E is still gonna be cut out. It's gonna be so small, it won't matter that much, but we'll keep it at a 0.02. And then I'm going to hit apply. And then you can see this is just a little bit thicker, and it's just going to cut better.
Yeah.
But you still get the aesthetic of the font that you wanted. And obviously, like, you can't go in here and edit this. This is just an offset, so it's basically like an image of a word. This you could still go in and edit. So if for some reason you still weren't satisfied with that, you could go back in and do another offset of it, if that makes sense. Love this hack. Click right above the apply button in the white space above it. Okay. 0.02, let's change it to 0.25 and see if that works. Yeah, there's another little way to do it.
Just click right up above it. Yeah.
Yep. So there you go, everybody. And I also keep it on rounded corners too. I just like the rounded corners personally.
Now there are some fonts.
I know, let's do
that. It's a varsity, like varsity fonts. If I'm wanting to do an offset on a varsity font,
yes,
I click square.
Let's do this slice out technique with a varsity font and use the square to offset so they can see. So let's do Trojans. That was my high school mascot. What was your high school mascot?
The Indians.
Oh, okay. Let's do Big T. We've already done high school mascots on this show before, and my mom was the Boilermakers, and we were making fun of it. And what did Megan say? What was Megan?
Oh, she's here. I don't remember.
So if you guys had a funny high school mascot, please tell us. We love funny high school mascots. Okay, I'm going to change this to varsity. I think we've got it downloaded. Yes. Maybe. Okay, let's zoom out. Is that it?
Yeah, but you have to ungroup to letters and move that O over.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. We need to fix that. Okay, I'm going to ungroup to letters and bump this O over a little bit because he's like hugging up on my J for some reason. See, listen, in Illustrator, I can hold the shift key down and scooch stuff over and it slides perfectly. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm going to actually scoot these in too because I feel like it's still spaced out. This is a good one. We can do select them all, Lauren, and align.
I would do an inset on this one almost just because that R.
Let me zoom in. I'm bad for working from really far away. I don't know why I do that.
You see how that R? Like I want more space in between the R.
Yeah.
I would almost do an inset slice.
Okay. Also, I did that dang distribute horizontally and it did not
do
it.
Maybe
so
it's
maybe
just
it's
for
just
shapes.
image shapes, yeah. Okay, and now they're kind of wonky because I moved them around. I'm going to select them all, align, and center vertically, and this is going to put them back on the same playing field. We have our font. I've realigned it, but we did separate it. I'm just going to reattach everything back together, and we're going to do an
Canucks.
inset.
Rhymes with ducks.
It does.
A Canuck is a Canadian woodsman.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we're going to do an inset. Now, if you want to do an inset, it's just like an offset that we've been doing, but you need to have a negative. So we're going to put just a literal negative sign here. And I'm going to do a negative 0.0 or negative 0.1 maybe. Hold on, let me cancel. I got to change the color of this because I can't see anything. Okay, select your font. Let's go offset. We're going to hit a negative. And then we're going to do a 0.1. Let's make it a little bit thicker, 0.2. Ooh, yeah. Okay, now this font is very sharp edge. So you can see the corners of the letters are very sharp and pointy. This is an instance when I want to use this corner angle so that all of my points are sharp. Now let me go back to the circle one so you guys can see. Let me see if there's a good spot where there's a big difference. Well, it's hard to tell. But if you use the round one on a sharp font, sometimes it can just look a little weird and like bubbly when it's not supposed to. We want to use the corner font for this one and then hit apply. I'm going to select both of them and then go to combine and exclude. So it's the reason that it's not working this time is because we ungrouped to letters. So it's basically, let me see if I can unite it. Let's unite, do the offset, apply, slice. I don't like what's happening here, though.
The
Do you
A?
see? Yeah, like.
What is happening there?
It's from the offset.
Huh.
Let's see what happens if we use the round offset instead. Let's do the round one. The round one actually fixes it. So let's select them both, slice it out.
So it's like you
kind of needed the round one there. I wonder if I do an offset instead of an inset, if it'll look better with the sharp edges.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's test it out, everybody.
Everybody.
Okay, offset. We're just going to do a positive 0.2. Everything's so close together. 0.1. Apply. Select. Oh, I didn't change it to sharp. But this is what it looks like with the round one. Okay. And then this is what it looks like with the hard edge. So it looks good with the hard edge if you do the offset. If you do the inset, you're going to want to do the rounded edge. So you can play around with slicing that offset out and stuff. But yeah, just some fun little hacks. I wanted to show one more. I got to show one more. Okay, let's go overhead. This is, I want to show you guys how to use writing fonts. I just feel like that's something I should show you guys. So this was written with my Cricut. but I love using our sketch fonts. So if you go on our website and search sketch, we have so many. I mean, I don't even, do you know how many we have? There's quite a bit.
I don't know, to be real honest.
Lovely to see you.
Oh gosh.
Okay, don't everybody ignore that. Ignore this font. I'm gonna fix it. We gotta fix it. So I'm gonna type in sketch, and look, these are just the ones we have downloaded. We have more than this on the website. What I'm gonna do is this is Albuquerque sketch. We used the Albuquerque regular earlier. But I love these fonts for writing on cards because I don't love my own handwriting. Even if someone says, you have good handwriting, like no one ever really loves their own handwriting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, yeah.
I just feel like it's not a thing. So you can actually have the Cricut write for you. We've got tons of tutorials on how to do this on our channel. But if you are using one of these fonts, I want you all to know that when you use them, you download them the same way that you would a regular font. But when you type it out, pay attention to this operation up here. So it says basic cut. We do not want it to cut. We need to change it to pen. So just go up here to this operation. You're going to select pen, and that's going to change this to a writable font. And your Cricut's going to know, hey, put a pen in so whenever we go to do this, I can write it out for you. Renee loves her handwriting.
I wish I did mine.
Me too. Me too. And then there's other things that you can do, like you can change the thickness of the font, the color if you want to, things like that. This drop down has all these different options. So if you're using a glitter gel pen, whatever you're using, you can change it. Obviously there's limited color choices for each one. But yeah, that's about it. I'm sure there's other fonts that like I just am not thinking of right now, but those are like the main ones that I feel like I've incorporated.
So